Conservative tax watchdog, name of Grover Norquist, sounding off on the Fiscal Cliff deal. Here's what he tweeted last night. Direct quote. The Bush tax cuts lapsed at midnight last night. Every Republican voting for the Senate bill is cutting taxes and keeping his or her pledge. What? Joining us now is one of Grover Norquist's top lieutenants. Her name is Mattie Duppler with Americans for Tax Reform. Mattie? That statement sounded to me like a real big backpedal. Sorry, but that's what it sounds like to me. You want to clear me up here? Go.
Yeah, and good morning to you too, Stuart.
Yeah, good morning.
Look, here's what we have. We have a fiscal cliff that we have been talking about for months, if not years. We know December 31st at midnight, all the Bush tax relief expires. So what happens at midnight? We don't have a deal in place. It expires, and everyone now wants to act like it never even happened. You know, interesting position for Republicans to be in, to say that this tax hike that we've been talking about, the largest tax hike in history, is coming, and then ignore that it happened and try not to do anything about it.
Well, wait a minute. Grover's saying we go off the cliff, so everybody's taxes go up. But in comes the Senate bill and cuts taxes on 98% of people. Therefore, it's okay to break the pledge. I mean, that's a technicality. The man's in retreat.
Stuart, this has no pledge implications whatsoever. Current law was always that this gigantic tax hike was going to happen. It was on Republicans to stop this tax hike, and what we got from the Senate and what we got from Republicans on the Hill was the best they could do from the negotiating position they were in. Remember, the momentum was against us in that point. This was current law. This was going to happen absent any interaction from Congress and the President.
Mattie, are you sure that he's not been beaten up, Grover Norquist, beaten up so bad that he's retreated into technical grounds? Really?
Stuart, you know as well as I do that we're tough over here, and we're willing to take some of the calumny in the press and from the left, because we know that Republicans are getting serious about trying to cut government. But how do you get there without the tax issue off the table?
1 second, Mattie, quickly.
Quickly, does this mean, is it just Grover gone rogue, or is this a new reality for you guys at Americans for Tax Reform?
No, this has always been the position that current law baseline is something we need to be concerned about, because tax law does not extend forever just, you know, in the way it currently is. We need to look at the way the law is actually written, and that's that all the tax relief that was in place by 0103 was going to expire. So Republicans needed to do something to fix that, and that required actually legislating, not just allowing present law to expire.
All right, Charles Payne is here. He's itching to go at it. Go.
You know, Mattie, after Plan B failed, Boehner took a serious shot directly at Grover. Where's your next move? Is it the debt ceiling? Where's you guys going to make a stand? I thought this is where you made the stand. If you lost, you lost. If it's your Waterloo, that's okay to say that. Yeah. But, you know, are you going to make a stand somewhere, or is now even the Grover Norquist pledge a moving goalpost?
Charles, I think you need to explain to me how we essentially lost. As I mentioned before, we had a massive tax hike that happened at midnight on
Okay, well, forget about that, Mattie. What about the debt ceiling? Is that where you're going to make a serious stand?
Oh, absolutely. I think this is a very good position that Republicans are in now to try and cut the size of government. You know, we forget that the debt limit was passed carte blanche for years and years and years. When Speaker Boehner came into power, this was the first time we actually used the debt ceiling to try and cut the size of government, to try to rein in spending. And Republicans now have an excellent opportunity to do that with the debt limit that's coming in a couple of months, as well as a continuing resolution when government funding expires. These are two battles where Republicans have leverage against Democrats, because we want to cut the size of government, and Democrats have shown they are not serious about doing anything.
Okay. We're going to be watching this battle, because you can see it coming a mile off, and we want your input as well. Mattie Duppler, thanks for joining us.
Okay. Thanks, Stuart.